And hello and welcome to my live stream. So on today's live show, our normal catch up on news around the Pico, Pico 2, RP2040, RP2350 and anything else that catches my eye. But hasn't it been quiet around the Pico ecosystem for the last few weeks? What's going on? Well, a bit about that later in the show, I think, or my ideas about what's going on. I'll also talk, of course, about my projects and what I'm working on right now, and some behind-the-scenes thoughts, because this is the live stream and it's my behind-the-scenes space. So hi, I'm John, your concierge to the world of the Raspberry Pi Pico, Pico 2, IoT, robotics, and fun tech. Welcome to my channel. Welcome to Resort Dr Jon EA, where it's everything around Pico and fun tech and IoT, robotics, and enjoying ourselves. A more relaxed look at my world. That's what we do on this stream, and an inside view from the channel. So that's where we're going today. Please do use that chat function that's available to you to ask any questions or tell me where you are and tell me a bit about the projects you're working on. I'd love to hear, and we can give you a shout out as we go through. If it's your first time joining us, thank you very much for joining. Appreciate having you here. If you're returning, then thank you very much for coming back. I honestly appreciate that. It's lovely talking to you guys, and it's lovely knowing that I'm talking to you guys. So thank you very much. So remember to subscribe and remember to like the live stream too. That always all helps. So I hope you're all keeping well. It's coming into that cold, dark season of the year up here in the Northern Hemisphere. Yeah, wet, windy and horrible out here in the UK. So situation normal, really. How's the projects going? Well, I hope. Some of mine are going really, really well. Others are causing me to lose even more hair than I've already got. You know, that's life in projects, isn't it? So yeah, let me know how your projects are going. November already, and my channel's just about to go into a few special Christmas episodes and Christmas builds, so I hope you'll enjoy that. I do love that magical time of this year with all the lights around and things. And, you know, with our Picos, we can do lots of clever things with lights, and I'll mention that a bit later. So, special today for you guys is because I want to actually chat to you and encourage a little bit more chat on the around, and we're getting some great comments and on some of my videos going out on the channel at the moment that really I thought, you know, we should do something a little bit more. So there's going to be a bit of a after live stream party over on the DevEco's Discord server, which is pretty much my Discord home place. So come find me there and we can have a bit of a chat for half an hour or so after the live stream. So I hope you'll join me there. Hope to see you there, and we'll speak to you in a bit. So I guess we should talk about the agenda. What's today? Well, agenda's still my same agenda for these live stream. Catch up a bit on news, what's going on, or as I see it, what might be going on, because it's been a bit quiet recently. Bit about my projects and all of those fun projects that I'm working on. Then a bit about the channel, where the channel's going and what my view on future stuff for the channel would be, and I'll answer some Q&A. If you've got any questions and you want to raise them as I go through, ping them in chat, and I will try to answer any questions that come up. So let's start with talking around the news around the Pico and any other exciting tech that I've noticed. So is it just me, or is it suddenly gone really, really quiet? I wonder what's happened. What could possibly be going on? At least it's gone quiet in the Pico world. I mean, Raspberry Pi has done quite a few big launches over the last couple of weeks. So we've had a new version of Raspberry Pi OS coming out. That's got some big things in it. It's got a switch away from using X11 as the windowing system to using Wayland on all of their platforms. That's something I need to learn, because I don't know a great deal about Wayland. I must admit, I'm a historic X11 man. But yeah, okay, I can see the benefits of the Wayland architecture, and that looks good. And also, you know, through that they've been able to introduce some improved touchscreen interface support, which I also think is great for the Raspberry Pi OS. Now, that nicely times with the launch of their new Raspberry Pi Touch screen as well. Also another cool piece of tech. I haven't got one yet, but definitely looks good. My friend Dan Makes Things actually reviewed one on YouTube a little while ago, so that might be worth having a look at if you want to learn a bit more about that. And they also launched their new AI kit. I have never seen anything quite as big as a hat sitting on top of a Raspberry Pi, so it's quite impressive. So that's worth a look too. That and could be really good for some clever stuff. But you know, most of the stuff I talk about here is about the Pico, and on the Pico front, actually things have been really quiet. And why is that? Well, I think it is because we're getting really close to that announcement for the Pico 2W and the launch of the Pico 2W. And I'm really excited to see when that is. Now, when is that going to be? Well, I imagine it's going to be after Thanksgiving. So I imagine, because next week's Thanksgiving week, I think it will be a quiet week, and I think it will be the week after. So my bet and my gamble is that this is going to be on the 4th of December. What do you think? Do you know? Have you got the inside view? When do you think that's going to come? Because they promised it by the end of the year. So we're running out of time. When's that going to be? I'd love to hear your thoughts on that. So yeah, it's all a bit quiet. So I haven't got a great deal of other news to share with you that I've spotted about what's going on. If there is something that I've missed, please do let me know. I'll make sure to mention it next time. And also, if you see stuff coming up and you really think I should be mentioning that, please get in touch. Let me know. You know, I'm not omnipresent. I miss things from time to time, especially as, you know, like all of us, you get your heads down onto the projects you're working on, and you forget the world is passing you by. So yeah, let me know if there's stuff I should be talking about. I'd love to hear from you guys and about it. So let's catch up on projects. So what projects have I been working on? Well, you know, most of the stuff you've seen coming out. So I'm going to start by just talking through some of the stuff that that's been out on the channel and those great projects that come out. So I spent some time converting my MicroROS world. Actually, it didn't take very long to run on the RP2040. That's important because actually I think the RP2040's additional capabilities, like the floating point unit particularly, and the performance of that floating point unit, are really important for robotics. So I wanted that there, and yeah, I've got that up and running, and I was controlling my little X-arm through that. Check out that video if you haven't done already. I also did a fireside chat. I haven't had guests on the channel for a while, so it was lovely to invite Dan Makes Things to come and spend a bit of time chatting to me about his companion robot, his other projects, how he got started, how he shares all this stuff. You know, inspiring guy, and great to talk to. Another great Brit working on this sort of space. The VS Code extension. This video went down well. I'm talking about actually how to use that video of the VS Code extension with projects, the simple projects that Raspberry Pi have launched through it, and actually more real projects, which means really using the CMake tool as well. I know there's been a couple of questions and requests of can I actually do a slightly bigger video talking about actually how real projects with libraries and everything work through that. I will probably try and do that. I will either do it. My question on that one actually, and my thoughts on that one is this a video or is this actually becoming almost a course? And if it's a course and it's too in-depth for me to get into in about 20 minutes, then perhaps it would be better if I did, you know, an hour or two on Udemy and did it there. So I haven't worked that out. It depends what that's going to look like, and that's in planning phase still at the moment. The weather station, I also shared the PCB design and how I'm going through that. This project is turning out to be massive. I'll talk a bit more about that in a bit. And finally, Rust. I played around with Rust on the Pico. It was really fun. On the Pico 2 actually, the RP2040. It's really fun and I quite liked it. I got stuck on a few things, particularly not having threads, and I wanted threads to be able to actually write real-world applications, so I missed having a real-time operating system. But a few of you have got back to me and said, well, actually there are ways around that and there are things you can do, and here are some suggested libraries that will give you async capability and lightweight threads. So I need to go back and look at that and have a play, because that actually does look really quite interesting, and I really like what I've seen so far, so that'll be a place to go. But if you haven't seen the Rust video, please do take a look and let me know what you think. Be always good to hear. So outside of getting those videos up and to you, I've been working on the weather station project, and this is still going. It still hasn't made it outside, it's still inside. There are a couple of little caveats I've found in my design and what I'm doing. So lots of things like, you know, the data services work well. I'm able to sample all that data. I'm able to put the processor to sleep. I'm able to submit data to a server. I've even written the data processing side and a dashboard to analyze the data coming off of it. So lots of the project's going quite well. The power management, I've noticed that I've got that one of the modules I'm using is burning way too much power, even though, yeah, and that's a problem, which probably means I'm going to have to do a bit of a redesign on that one. We'll see. I'm thinking that I'm going to try and go live with what I've got and get it outside and try and do a bit more learning on it, and then I'll come back to you. But yeah, beginning of January, 2nd of January, there'll be a video talking about actually some of these challenges and how the power cycles of recharge and discharge are actually going to work on a solar power project out there in the wild and away from my house's main supply. So look forward to that. That's quite a way off, I know. I do work a little bit in advance because, yeah, it helps when things go horribly wrong, and sometimes they do. So the other projects coming up, which I've been enjoying spending some time, is this little thing, which is my Advent calendar Pico project, RP2040 project. It's based on the RP2040 Touch that I showed you in a while ago now on the channel. Over a month ago now on the channel, and yeah, so it lights Christmas trees as we go through the period of Advent, and then continues to do that through the period of Christmas. And then it has nice little different picture on the screen each day. You can navigate through the screens, you can change the date and all of those sorts of clever functions. It's sitting also behind me there. So there's a couple of videos coming up on this. This week's video on Thursday will be about building the prototype and the basic design and coding. And then the following week, I'm going to talk about actually how I productionized it by creating, you know, a proper PCB for it. And this is really getting lots of modules onto KiCad, or KiCad, which isn't always easy. You know, I've been terrified about that too. So I'll show you how to do that really quite easily. And then building a 3D case for it, which again, I found some real shortcuts to doing that. So some great stuff to look at the week after for that. So stay tuned for that. And I hope you'll enjoy that. So, oh yes, sound. Forgot this is going to play sound on this video. So other people's great Christmas projects I found. So Stand Up Maths has done this amazing Christmas tree lights, all controlled by a Pico. They're WS2812B LEDs. He's got 500 of them on this Christmas tree, doing some really, really nice, clever patterns and animations. It's really cool projects. One of the interesting things for me, having played with these LEDs, is the power management and actually getting to power that many LEDs. That's going to draw quite a bit of power. So yeah, I reckon there's a good 10 amps of power going into there. Okay, it's only at 5 volts, but there's still 10 amps of power going in there. Yeah, could be fun. So yes, interesting. Go look at his video. That was a fun project. I'd love to share some of your projects. If you've got something cool, for Christmas that you feel I should be sharing, I'd love to share that on my next live stream when it comes up, and yeah, we can go from there. And yeah, please do, you know, do that. So we're already to that time of the thing when I talk about what's going on the channel and what we're up to and what my plans are. So I'm going to continue with my broadcast schedule. We're talking about you know, the full vlog coming out every week on a Thursday. That's continuing, and I'm going to continue to do a short form update coming out on the Tuesday afterwards. Now, some of those shorts are not that short. Yeah, I know. Well, actually, some of them are short. Some of them have gone down to actually 2.5 minutes. And some of them are a bit longer. Some of them are coming up to 5 minutes. So, yeah, my 3-minute summaries are not 3 minutes, but they try to get the point across in a bit shorter than the 20 to 30 minutes that my full videos are running at the moment. Sundays, well, Sundays once a month is definitely going to be the live stream. In between, I'm still experimenting. Sometimes I'm not making a video at all and nothing's going out. So I'm not promising what's going out on Sundays at the moment. It's a experimental time, let's call it, and we'll see what happens. But yeah, there we go. The channel, and if you didn't join me at the last live stream, so the channel, we've now got well over 4,000 subscribers. In fact, over 4,100 subscribers. So thank you all for subscribing. Thank you all for being part of the journey and taking part. I really appreciate it. And yeah, it's fabulous to have you all here. So, which makes me start thinking about, well, what should I do going into next year, and what are the plans for next year? And so this is thoughts at the moment and not really confirmed, but I'd really like your opinions and thinking about it. So I'm thinking of adding a members only section to the channel. So this will be one special in-depth video a month, probably following a single project and my journey through that single project. What do you think? Would that be something that you'd be interested in? Would you actually want to join and subscribe to that sort of channel? I'd love to know. I've put a survey up on the YouTube channel to ask about it. please do fill that in and tick what you think, or get in touch with me and let me know. It'll probably be robotics based, and I'm a bit torn at the moment between doing some sort of R2 style ROS2 robot, which I think would be really cool, and an evolution of DDD, my DIY dev droid. If you remember that, back from last year now, I think. It's sitting on the shelf behind me actually. You know, that was a 3-wheeled robot with motor control, LiDAR, all the start ROS stack, running MicroROS from a Pico. I'd love to sort of convert that into something that looks a bit more like R2-D2. It won't look exactly like R2-D2 because R2-D2 doesn't really open himself up to being LiDAR controlled and having all those sorts of sensors on him that I'd want. So he's going to be R2-like. I'm not, not a remote controlled car or, you know, droid. I want something that is autonomous, able to navigate, etc. So that might be some place I go. Or the other thing that tempts me is some sort of companion robot that can sit on my shoulder. That would be also cool and really nice to do. I'm not sure which. I haven't really thought. So these are my thought processes, but I want to share them with you because you've decided to come along to my live stream, to the inside view of the channel and see what's going on. So, you know, this is what you get. You get thoughts of what might happen next and what I could do, and I'd love your opinion. So yeah, so of course I've still got the super thanks button live on the channel, and this is your opportunity to drop me a cash tips to say thank you for content that I deliver on the channel. And I'm saving the money up there to get me to the open source conference in San Francisco. And that's a big makers and developers and embedded community conference. In fact, the DevEco guys are doing a really big event at that conference. So it's I guess it's becoming highly likely that I really will be there and need to be there. So I would really appreciate your help in getting me there, and really want to see as many of you there as possible. A bit closer to home, well, at least for me, here in the UK, is, and a bit before open source. Open source is around the 20th of July in San Francisco. The couple of months before is Maker Central, which is the UK maker fair, less developer centric, I must admit, in my view. But still an interesting show with some great content. I wondered whether we should do some sort of meetup or face-to-face, and if other people are trying to go to Maker Central, and that's May 17th and 18th. If you are, would you like to do something? I know Dan Makes Things is thinking of going as well, and we're wondering whether we combine forces and try and get a few UK makers and interested parties to meet up at the event. Love to hear your thoughts. Love to know if you want to go to that, and if you do, please do get in touch and we can start making plans, which would be cool. So remember, I've got Udemy courses teaching the fundamentals that I use in nearly all my builds, from how I get my C environment working, how to use that Visual Studio extension, how to program your using FreeRTOS, how to use IoT for MQTT protocols, how to use web services clients, which is what I'm using for that weather stations to get data off to my cloud service. So, you know, really good courses there. Black Friday next week, so they will be absolutely the lowest price they will be all year. Please do go buy them, and we can, because some money, not all of it, I must admit, some money comes to me, and that's really useful for keeping me going and paying the mortgage and stopping me having to go out, find a different job and consulting, which takes me away from this world and takes me away from providing content to share back to you guys. Remember, I've got social feeds available on all of the other social channels. Please do follow me there. I appreciate it, and I will generate more content for those channels. Otherwise, I tend to follow where the people are. So, you know, certainly Instagram and LinkedIn are perhaps the closest ones that I try and put something a little bit different on, a little bit more of an inside view. Haven't done as much on that as I should. I'm rubbish. Tell me rubbish. Tell me what you want to see, and I'll get stuff up on those. So that takes us to Q&A time. And hey guys, you've all been really quiet. There are 4 concurrent viewers at this point. We've had up to 6 on the live stream so far. I'd love to know what your thoughts are, and if you've got any questions. If not, the one question I wanted to come back to was a question that I was asked last time on the channel, which was around, could I play video from my Pico to my MSP2401 TFT screen, the one that I'm using for this little badge here. I think that's in screen. I think you can see that. Well, I talked a lot last time about how what the problems were and how I thought we could get over them. The good news is I've actually done it, and I have got over it. And here is video coming from a Pico related product to that TFT screen. Now, a couple of caveats here. Firstly, I have this is going from an RP2040. I've had to use that because I needed an additional RAM available to frame buffer. Also, I've ditched the SD card for a couple of reasons. One, it's not really supported from a software library point of view on the RP2040. And secondly, I can't pull the data fast enough, I don't think, not without a redesign, which I might do actually at some point. But yeah, if I redesign it, so which means I'm storing all of the data on flash. And to store the data on flash, I've gone and used a PIMoroni's Pico 2 Plus, because that gives me 16 megabytes of flash, which means I can store on this. Well, on this video that I'm actually showing at the moment, I'm storing about 15 seconds worth of video. So there are differences on the compression, and I have done a video on this. It's going out in December, so stay tuned to that, and that will be a fun video, a little bit away from the Christmas theme, to talk about getting a video onto these screens. So I look forward to that. So I don't have any other live questions from you guys. You're having another quiet week with me, which, okay, that's fine. Perhaps we can chat over on the dev eco server in a couple of minutes. So that is it for today. I've got another live stream planned between Christmas and New Year on the 29th of December. It will be up and hopefully in your feeds, and you'll be liking it and ready to go for that one. Let me know if you've got any projects or any content that you'd like us to share or things, and I'd be love to see you there, and love to talk about your projects. And please like and subscribe. Hi Richard, thank you very much for buying my FreeRTOS course. I appreciated that. BYJ28 stepper motors, you've got a question on that. I haven't done it from a Pico 2, but there is a video on my stream around doing it from the Pico, and really they aren't significantly different in terms of driving it. So you could, I think, probably easily convert from one to the other. If you want to jump onto the Dev Eco server, I will look out the link for you and make sure that you've got that, or I will end up adding it to the show notes on this so that you've got the link as soon as I find it. But I've got several hundred videos, so it takes a little bit of time for me to just find it. But there is definitely one there, and I can find you the stepper motor video episode so that you can see that. And they are pretty easy to drive. It just needs a little bit of understanding. And that video goes through all of the basics. So yes, enjoy that one. So thank you very much, guys. Been a pleasure having you. I look forward to chatting to all of you on the Dev Eco channel in a couple of minutes, and we'll see you there for the after show party. Until then, keep tinkering, and goodbye, and I'll talk to you live in December. Bye bye, guys.